Just like the internet changed the world in only 30 years, blockchain technology will completely disrupt the world in even less time. Cardano is one of the projects based on blockchain technology with a top 5 cryptocurrency called ADA. One of the impacts of blockchain technology is how it changes the nonprofit sector. Liam and Armando from A180 have a background in nonprofit. The impact that they're seeing within the space is truly amazing. Both of you guys work in the nonprofit world. Could you tell us about that? I know, Armando, you told me a little about yours.
Sure. Yeah, I work in mental health care. So I largely focus on bringing evidence-based mental health care to veterans, military veterans, and their family members. If you're familiar with the military veteran population, suicidality and PTSD and those things run pretty rampant. So that's a fight that I do almost every day. Is my day job, and I love it.
Yeah, also in the nonprofit industry, I am also in health and wellness. That's actually how Armando and I kind of met. That's how we got our start. We got our undergraduate degree together in a health and wellness related field. So beyond that, I moved on, continuing to work in health and wellness. I worked with the geriatric population for quite some time.
Let me paint you guys this picture. Imagine that you are really passionate about this charity's mission and you've been donating a large portion of your income to it on a consistent basis, and you really are proud of what they're doing. But there's still a question of how much of the money is going towards them, and you're not really sure, but you're hoping for the best. The nonprofit sector needs transparency. That is what is extremely important, and that's where blockchain technology steps into play. Another technology that's within Cardano is stake pools. They can be mission driven, and which I'll have a video on that later on. But for now, this is the perfect segue into what Liam's and Armando's story are with their stake pool.
This comes with a little bit of a backstory. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but just about 2 years ago, my youngest daughter, Riley, she was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer. So this led us on a path to Memphis, Tennessee, and to the hospital, St. Jude's, the Children's Hospital. And there she had 3 brain surgeries, 6 months of chemotherapy, and ultimately she's alive and well today. She's doing amazing. And it's a big part of the reason why our philanthropic view is to help fund research behind pediatric cancer. So that's what our main goal is. One of our main entities that we support is the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. I think it was 96% of every dollar goes towards funding pediatric cancer research. Mm-hmm. So that's our main philanthropic view, and it comes with obviously a backstory that's very dear to my heart.
Yeah, I absolutely love the entire community of stake pool operators, and it's such a massive opportunity for funding for nonprofits. Is so interesting. This is just one example for the potential of blockchain technology. Jobs, entire businesses are being created from this technology, and billions of dollars is being generated and being directed for good. It's more than just scam coins out there, but despite the perception of crypto.
Yeah, I think it is very interesting, especially coming from the nonprofit world and working with things like matching gifts and endowments. I think smart contracts and blockchain have a lot to offer the nonprofit world. And I know there's probably some great minds already out there thinking about how exactly that happens and what that looks like. And I can't wait to learn a little bit more about it, because blockchain in itself is all about transparency. And what do we always want in the nonprofit world? Mm-hmm. We want transparency. We want to know that our dollars are going where the organization says they are. And we want to know that the organization is being accountable and is trustworthy. And so I think blockchain and smart contracts can really bring a lot to this field.
It's incredible to see. There's so many nonprofits now that are accepting cryptocurrency as a form of funding for their philanthropies. It's crazy. I was looking at the Salvation Army. Now they've got a button directly on their page where you can donate in your cryptocurrency. Same thing with the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. They were talking in a meeting recently about how they're exploring how they're going to go about accepting cryptocurrency. It's becoming this this main stage issue where the nonprofit organizations are trying to figure out how they can accept cryptocurrency. They know that it's growing. You see it every day. There's people all around you. People that don't know anything about cryptocurrency are starting to ask questions. this entire space is growing, the industry is growing, and everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie.
What excites you guys in the short term the most?
I think everybody would probably expect us to say price. I think that's what the large majority of people care about with Cardano, right? Is price. I'll be completely honest. I have no idea what the price of ADA is right now. I would guess it's somewhere between $1.20 and $1.40. I haven't looked. I don't know. I just don't follow the price of ADA that regularly because I'm not concerned with it. I stopped looking at my portfolio every day. When I first got into crypto, and I know Armando is probably the same way, and I'm sure everybody that when they initially get into the crypto space and they start investing, you're checking your portfolio every 5 minutes because that's how crazy things swing around here. But once you understand the long-term value, especially with Cardano, you just stop caring what the price is. It doesn't matter if it's $1.20 today or $2 tomorrow, or it goes down to 50 cents on Thursday. The fact is we believe that in the long run, we're talking 5-10 years, this is going to be a significant project, not in just the crypto space, but the entire financial ecosystem. And this thing is going to have tentacles that spread out into healthcare, everything, healthcare, into finance, into supply chains. We're going to see Cardano and blockchain technology make its way into almost every industry. And that's my belief. And that's what excites me for the long term. So I know your question was what excites me in the short term.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's smart contracts, right? That's right around the corner.
The date for Cardano smart contracts has finally been announced after years and years of ridicule and just straight disrespect by some toxic community members. The date has finally been announced for September 12th. Cardano smart contracts are on their way.
Yeah, I think smart contracts is the right answer for most people when you say what excites you in the short term. But just to not give that same answer, I'd say World Mobile is really exciting in the short term, and kind of this phase one in Tanzania and seeing this kind of hopefully have a successful launch and really gain traction. And then, I know World Mobile is a long-term project and they're going to be all over the world in the next decade. But I'm really excited to see what the next 6 months or so bring for that group and all the great things that they're doing.
Real world adoption is so interesting to me. If you watch this channel regularly, you definitely know what World Mobile is. I have multiple videos on them, but what they're doing is changing the world. Half the world isn't connected to the internet, and they're working to do that through technology that other companies wouldn't be able to use. Besides World Mobile, because that's probably one of my favorites. What's your favorite project in Cardano?
Man, that's a good question. There's been so many. I mean, I've probably covered 24 projects just in the last month that have kind of popped up or that are planning to have IDOs or something of that nature. The one that's making the most impact on Cardano right now is probably Occam Razor. Their ability to, launch these new projects and, do it in a way that organizes the DeFi space for Cardano has been really impressive. Their presence on social media is great. They seem to have really good leadership from as far as I can tell. Overall, they've been one of the best catalysts for Cardano moving forward.
Yeah, I think, again, Liam stole the best answer there for me anyway. But another one that is catching my eye more recently is Miniswap, and their initial stake pool offering and how they're doing it by really bringing in other stake pools instead of spinning up their own stake pools. They're partnering with existing stake pools, and I've been following them on Twitter, and they just have a great presence. They really seem to answer questions in a very thorough and in a manner that seems like they know what they're doing, and they're really focusing hard and trying to pull this project along. So it's fairly new, but it's caught my eye, and mostly just in the way they're engaging the community and their professionalism, I think is pretty stellar.
I think this is extremely interesting how projects that we can invest in, they have that ability to be involved in a community and almost appear in an online presence as like, this is more than just it's breaking down the barriers to investing, because especially in my generation, investing was never seemed that interesting until you maybe crypto, your gateway, is that thing that catches your eye. I think I'm very interested in the whole how projects are able to market themselves and be communicative in this community.
I think that obviously plays a big part into what social media is today. This wasn't around 10, 15 years ago when people were trying to invest. And there was no YouTube channels. It's not like when Target had their first stock exchange, people weren't making Target videos. So I could be wrong. If there's any Target video makers out there, I really apologize. you get my point. There's not this like crazy community out there that's creating content just to get other people involved. And that's what's happening here in crypto, and especially in Cardano. I know some other of the projects have communities, small communities around them, but I think bar none, Cardano's got to have the largest community out there.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, like Armando was saying, the leadership and vision shared by Charles Hoskinson is really what got the snowball rolling. It's so interesting. I don't know if we've ever, I'm a lot younger, but correct me if I'm wrong, other than the internet, there's so many new innovations. I think it stemmed from the internet, you know what I mean? Just what we're seeing, if you try to catch up with it all at once, your brain's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Armando, I think he just called you old.
That's true. That's true. I am old. So I do remember the internet when it wasn't here, and then when it was here. But yeah, you're right. I think it's not just it wasn't the internet that necessarily changed the world. It was all the things were born from the internet that kind of changed the world. And so the internet was really kind of that infrastructure, and that's how I think blockchain and Cardano ultimately what they're doing as well.
Mm-hmm. And it's only half the world that's connected, not even the rest.
Yeah.
That's incredible to think about. And that's where obviously World Mobile comes into play.
One final question. How would you explain Cardano to a random person you meet in the elevator?
You want to take this one first, Armando?
I'll try, because this is tough. Because I have friends, and I have coworkers who are vaguely familiar with the fact that I'm into blockchain and crypto and those things. And these are tough conversations to have. And so, oftentimes I try to explain to them that it's kind of third generation blockchain, right? I think that's a term that we've all heard and been used many times. So it's not something that I've made up. But it's the newer version of what blockchain and cryptocurrency really is, and that it's not just a protocol, but it's an initiative and a community that's out there to really make the world work better. And so it's tough because you're trying to explain to them simultaneously that this is a groundbreaking technology and that they're doing things in undeveloped parts of the world that most people think aren't even doable. So I think a lot of times you kind of really have to start slow. So whenever somebody does come to me and says, hey, what's going on with crypto, or tell me about crypto, or what's this Cardano thing? There's this short video that I have on YouTube that not that we did, but that I found, and it's just, what is blockchain, right? And so I say, understand blockchain. And once you understand blockchain, then understand smart contracts and start to think about how those applications apply. And then all of this stuff that we're talking about in the crypto world, and traceability and financial services and self-sovereign identity, like all those things really start to make sense and understand the fundamentals of what is blockchain.
Yeah, as Armando said, it's so hard to put into one small, concise package because it is so many things, and it's expanding. As we speak, it's still expanding. If I had to put it into one 2-sentence phrase, it is a socially responsible technology company that is going to change the world and improve quality of life for millions of people.
I like that. Awesome. Yeah. And I know you said 2 sentences, but to add on to that, it's more than a company, because the community does things that are so much more than what a company can do, and it's just very interesting to me. And
I think that's hard for even a lot of people to understand, is that it's a company, but the strategy of the company is to eventually step away and let it be run by the community and the users, and that alone is innovative and unheard of in most worlds. And so trying to explain that that's the goal of this organization, is to really one day step away and let the community run it. That's mind blowing for a lot of people.
And it's the benefit of not having to be worrying about profits. When you're a business, your main goal can be your mission, but you also have to be worried about, making profits, paying employees. And when it comes to also like pleasing investors. And when it comes to something decentralized, which ties into the nonprofit sector a lot, something decentralized, being able to set down this vision and step away from it because, the vision is more important than one company. That's extremely interesting. Thank you guys for watching. This is an episode of the Cardano People podcast. The podcast is dedicated to exploring the minds of people within the Cardano ecosystem. I upload every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to check that out. Share this with somebody if you think that they are sleeping on crypto or maybe Cardano. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.